And now, let's go live to Bishop's Corner in West Hartford, where we find Rob Dibble.
All right.
We are live from Nautical Bowls here at Bishop's Corner in West Hartford, and where you will find healthy food that will make you feel young and smart and spry.
That's why you're here.
That's why I'm here. I need it. I need the help. Great open by Kurt Kaplan, as always. I mean, listen, we've done hundreds and hundreds of remotes over the years, and obviously we can pretty much do our show anywhere.
Yeah.
But this is one of my favorite places because you're trying to help people. You're trying to get them to eat healthy, live a healthy life, and get more out of their day. And this is certainly one of those places where everything that they serve here is to try to benefit your life.
So this is your second time here. This is my first time here. You opened this place. Nautical Bowls is a great location here in Bishop's Corner in West Hartford. You can look for our van. You can look for our flags. You can come inside. We got plenty of tickets to give away today. We've got Yankees tickets, Yargoats tickets, Hartford Athletic tickets. What is that? Six Flags? I didn't know that was going to be a thing. Six Flags for the kiddos. So we got something for everybody here. Plus, we've got a lot of other consolation items. If you don't win, you don't go home empty-handed, and you don't have to be here to win the prize. It just needs your name in the box. But, man, the one thing that I hear in this place is wow all the time. Mainly because we're here, you know. Obviously, everybody's like, what the hell is going on? We're like, we're doing a sports show. Wow. But also, like you said, the bowls. And I've been trying to come up with nicknames for all these specialty bowls that we have here at Nautical Bowls because I think they have like a baseball theme to them without even trying. I know they have a boat theme, and I'm still trying to figure that out. Maybe Mike can help us out with that, the owner of this place.
It was actually started in Minnesota, but it's supposed to have the outdoor kind of beach vibe.
Oh, there you go.
And that's one of the reasons for the surfboards and stuff like
Oh,
that. We went
I
over
see
this when
now.
I did an appearance here.
Okay.
And that's one of the things. Listen, I lived in L.A. For 10 years, and actually more because I did it twice when I first got out of baseball. But then, you know, if you're near the shore or something like that, this is the kind of place you stumble into, and you're like, oh, my God, this is great. It's a healthy meal experience. You know, you got super food, super meals, and it will help you with a super life because all of the ingredients in here are amazing, healthy, gluten-free, dairy-free, plant-based, and packed with essential vitamins and nutrients. I mean, you could have a lot of different things that are supposed to be good for you, but they don't have nutrients and they don't have vitamins and minerals in them. They just might not have, like, you know, no sugar. They could be gluten-free, and you're really getting nothing out of them value-wise. So that's one of the reasons why I like it here at Nautical Bowls.
We'll be here until 6:10. That is your pregame for the New York Yankees taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. So stop by and see us again. You don't have to be here in order to win the tickets. You just need your name in the box. And once you're here, man, try one of these bowls out as well. But the topic du jour comes again from Team USA and the performance Cooper Flagg had against the best of the best, the dream team, if you will, representing Team USA. This 17-year-old, and you watched the highlights last night. I got to watch them as well. This 17-year-old, man, is schooling Team USA. And we're talking about Drew Holiday, one of the best defenders in the NBA. And I know he's given up inches. Like, that was kind of the theme. He's 6'9", right. Drew Holiday 6'3", but still one of the best defenders in the NBA. Pull-up threes in the face of Anthony Davis, 7 foot tall, and then hustling down the court as well and making steals and the putback. Everything looks really good right now for Cooper Flagg as a 17-year-old that has not even played a college basketball game. And it feels like he could step into the NBA tomorrow and be a factor.
Well, I think so. I mean, you've had guys that have done that. Kobe did it. Kevin Garnett, guys like that have done it and been superstars. I mean, it's a question of, and the one thing I do appreciate this kid talking about is his confidence. He goes, I know I can play. I know what I'm capable of, and it really doesn't matter who I'm playing against. Now, you know, playing against some NBA guys that they threw together for the Olympic team in a scrimmage is a lot different than playing the grind of a regular season. Remember, he's played at whatever his IMG or wherever he's played and hasn't even played a full college season yet. So this guy, now all of a sudden you do an 82-game season. Then you do the 3 months of the postseason. Let's see how this guy does his second month into the postseason against a lot of these guys. The one thing I can say about some of these seasoned veterans, they're coming off of a regular season. Guys like Drew Holiday that have gone all the way to the finals and won, they could be dragging a little bit. And so, yes, it's amazing what he did as a 17-year-old in a couple of games, but, it kind of reminds me of Tom Cruise in Days of Thunder when he takes the best NASCAR driver's car around, takes a couple of laps, and everybody's like, all right, well, now go build your own car and come into traffic, and let's see how you do against the big boys. So
I think we've seen this story, man. I think this is 1991 when the Dream Team goes to play a closed practice against the College All-Stars for the first time. The likes of Bobby Hurley, Chris Webber, Christian Leitner's on the Dream Team, so it wasn't him, but a bunch of the college guys,
right.
and they wreck the 92 Dream Team of Jordan, of Bird, of Barkley, of all the greats of the greats. And they kind of got set up to lose that game. And I don't know if this was a setup or not, but that was definitely a slap in the face of the 92 Dream Team that kind of got their butts in gear and got ready for Barcelona. I feel like this is somewhat the same thing. Team Canada tomorrow, that's a 10:30 tip in Vegas. I would not be surprised if not only that's a close game, but Team Canada actually wins that exhibition game. But I just don't see it a foregone conclusion that this Team USA is going to go into Paris and take the gold in men's basketball. There's too many good teams.
Listen, Bam Adebayo is one of the youngest guys at 26. Devin Booker's 27. Curry's 36. Anthony Davis, who barely plays, is 31.
That's another thing.
The baby of the team is Anthony Edwards. I said this yesterday, 22 years old. But Durant's 35, Embiid's 30, Halliburton's 24. But then you look at these other guys. LeBron James is 39, Kawhi Leonard's 33, often injured. Tatum and Drew Holiday are coming off the NBA championship. Their legs are certainly not going to be as spry as a 17 or 18-year-old kid running you up and down the court. And listen, something could be said even in 91. 18-year-old guys against 25-year-old guys, run them right off the court. But if you play them over the course of 50 games, those NBA guys are going to figure it out, slow you down, back you down, and it's going to be a different game. So, yes, I love Cooper Flagg, and I love the little flash he had against these guys. But, at the end of the day, these guys are proven veteran NBA stars. And it's just like in Major League Baseball. We see this all the time. We see a guy have one good month, couple good months. People keep talking about Anthony Volpe. I haven't seen it. I really haven't seen it. I saw one good month out of this guy. Cabrera, I saw 2 good weeks out of this guy. And now you see, after 3 months and 100 games, okay, some of these guys are hitting 220, 230, 240 because guys figure you out. And this is what I say. Go around the league a couple of times. Now we got a book on you.
Right.
We know what you can do well, what you can't do well. How do I know Cooper Flagg's a good foul shooter? Every time he goes to the paint from now on, I'm going to slap the crap out of this guy. Let's see this guy after 1 year of college go into the NBA as an 18-year-old. These guys are not going to give. They're going to give him the Caitlin Clark treatment. They're going to make you earn your stripes in the NBA. So one thing about the NBA, and it's a lot softer game than it was in the 80s and the 90s.
Yes, it is, sir. Yes, it is.
You almost had to fight for your life in the paint in the 80s and 90s.
Not
Today's
anymore.
game, they protect you. You can shoot from the outside. That's for a 6'9" guy coming into this with that in his bag of tricks. That's the most amazing part of his game. So all the other stuff, he's only going to get better. But the running the court and the taking these old guys to school in a couple of days, they would figure it out, and they would sick some guys on you. You would put the best defenders on this guy. You would put some bigger guys on this guy to lean on this guy. Listen, I thought Sanogo a couple of years ago was one of the best college basketball players. Obviously by winning championships, you're one of the best. This guy could barely sniff the NBA right now, and he's got great footwork. The one thing he's missing is that 3-point shot. So anybody who's got a 3-point shot coming out of high school, you're ahead of the curve.
The one thing I look at, and especially NFL preseason when you're looking at rookies, and just when you make that next step, do you have the poise? Do you have the confidence to play with those big guys? And if you watch these Cooper Flagg highlights, you would think that's the guy with the poise. I'm wondering about Bam Adebayo. I'm wondering about Anthony Davis. I'm not wondering about that dude. And I think you can see that already. I think Zach Edey last night playing the Memphis Jazz Summer League game, and if you didn't watch it, I don't blame you. I'm a nut, and I shouldn't be watching these things, but I did.
No, I've been watching some of them.
He looks like he belongs.
Right
now, looks like he belongs. I can't speak for a lot of those jokers that were on the court, but he looks like he belongs.
And that's not against like 18 to 22-year-olds something. There's a couple of guys I was watching
24 and
that
not
have 5 years in the G League.
Right.
Some of these guys, they've been around forever, and they're still playing in the Summer League trying to break into the NBA, which, again, should tell you how difficult the NBA is because they're not going to give up a lot of jobs. Yes, Cooper Flagg is the top echelon player, but let's stick some other let's put Bronny in there. Let's put some of these other guys in there and see how they do in the second-round picks, how they would do against these NBA guys. I guarantee they'd school them.
So my head is a little bit in France today. All the Paris talk. I've been watching too much track and field trials, but also our whole crew's here today. We didn't know what kind of setup we were going to need for the Nautical Bowls, so we brought the Army. Selena, Samantha, they're getting people set up with tickets. Nick and John are running the video, but Federico has another job for us today. He's trying to keep us up on Spain, France. Do we got a score? Nick, you're not even ready. We need a score. Just started. Kickoff is at 3 o'clock, Spain versus France. That is the one half of the semifinals of UEFA. The other half will be tomorrow, England, Netherlands.
It's 1-0 France.
Whoa! 1-0. 1-0, France. Sports?
We're in the 11th minute, so it's a quick goal.
Sports World kind of revolves around France this summer, which is weird. That's never really
all those NBA draft picks and
wow, I didn't even think about that. Richer Sarr, 1 and 2 in the NBA draft. France and what they're doing in UEFA. Tour de France and what's going on there. Who's cheating to win?
Yeah, exactly. Who's the best cheater?
Can't wait to see. And then we got the Olympics coming right up, man. So that's going to be fun. Yesterday, the Willie Mays love continues around Major League Baseball. I'm glad to see San Francisco and what they did, the living memory, is that what we call it? Honoring Willie Mays yesterday. It's just this guy, you could just see, is so beloved around the game, man. Like, it doesn't matter what team he played for, and he might not even play for some of these teams, and he's going to get a tribute that he deserves. But I thought well done by San Francisco. Saw a lot of the highlights today.
Well, I mean, when you realize this guy, he fought in the Korean War, he played in the Negro Leagues, he was one of the greatest MLB players, but he was also one of the best ambassadors while he was still here, and for many, many years. And what – to me, when you go to certain places like a San Francisco, you would always see Willie McCovey at every game. You'd see Willie. Orlando Cepeda had a restaurant in the outfield, but they were accessible to even the opposing teams. And Willie would come in our locker room, and 20 guys are sitting around him listening to him talk. And that's what's missing from today's game. You know, when we talk about analytics and we talk about this stuff, I was just watching Joe Madden talk about this the other day. He's beyond upset about this because he's like, listen, part of baseball has nothing to do with numbers. It has to do with guys teaching younger guys how to act, how to behave. You just nailed it with Cooper Flagg. I didn't even get to Cooper Flagg hasn't become a $100 millionaire yet. Wait till they give this kid $100 million. Let's see how he starts acting. He's from Maine. You know, I mean, he's yet to have like a Lamborghini or a mansion or something like that.
Make more money than the coach.
That's right. And so, let's see how that kid reacts to that. We never know how someone's going to react. We see all these guys all the time losing their minds. But here's a guy, Willie Mays, came up in the 40s and the 50s, revolutionized the game and the way you play the outfield. As we heard from Pete Rose, Pete came out with us at the Travelers and talked about the shallow center field. That's why guys like Andrew Jones played a shallow center field. My teammate, Eric Davis, guys like that. Eric grew up on the West Coast in South Central. He and Strawberry. They watched guys like Willie Mays when they were growing up. They watched the great players on the Dodgers, on the Angels, on the Giants growing up. So, when you see the Willie McCoveys, the Cepedas, and listening to Bob Nightingale talk about that yesterday, Willie was pushed by his teammates. One of the reasons the San Francisco Giants and the New York Giants have so many players in the Hall of Fame, they always had a great organization. So when you look at the Giants throughout the last 100 years, they've drafted well, they've signed guys, they've done really well in the type of people they've put there. So when you honor somebody like Willie Mays, it's reminiscent of so many of these guys that we're losing right now. And like Bob Nightingale said, 16 Hall of Famers since 2020. That's a lot in 4 years, and a lot of these guys, when you look at some of them, were revolutionary in what they were doing out there on a baseball field. And so for me, but when you would talk to Willie Mays, Willie made you feel like you were the most important person in the room. Orlando Cepeda, I have an Orlando Cepeda story. So when I was doing the Dan Patrick Show, when we first got into the San Francisco market, they had a day for us. And at the game that night, Orlando Cepeda, at his age, walked a bowl of chicken and rice all the way from the outfield restaurant to me behind home plate to self-deliver it. And it's still one of the greatest moments of my life. Not only was he a Hall of Famer, a guy that I idolized as a player, but as a man, I was like, wow. And so, you never appreciate people until you interact with them. And so that's why I loved playing in Puerto Rico. You didn't really know about the history of Roberto Clemente until you went there. And every field has a 21. Every street has a mural of Roberto Clemente in the street. So that's the same thing with Willie Mays. That was the effect that he had on this country for basically 50 years. And it maybe have faded a little bit over the last 20 years of his life. But honestly, when I was in San Francisco and, Hank Aaron was talking to Barry Bonds on the big screen and stuff like that, honestly, those are moments people may not understand how huge they are in the world of sports. But for baseball players, guys like Willie Mays, the Hank Aaron's, guys like that, they were huge to guys like me.
So that's been a topic of conversation since the passing of Willie Mays in the past week and a half has been the number 24.
Let me tell you some of the people that were there. This will not shock you. Joe Torre, Dennis Eckersley, Ricky Henderson, Reggie Jackson, Juan Marichal, his teammate, Dusty Baker, Felipe Alou, who they played with, owner Bob Lurie, Mayor London Breed, Willie Brown. I love Willie. But many other people that, again, just him touching their lives, or being around the California or the Bay Area. He made you appreciate the time you were in the major leagues and what it meant to you and to what you should do for your community.
So the topic has been, 21. If you go to Yard Goats and look at the center field wall, you'll see number 21. And I love explaining it to people.
He's retired.
And
yep.
Roberto Clemente's number 21 lives in so many different ballparks other than just Pittsburgh where he played.
Should be retired in the major leagues. It really should.
42 is another one because of Jackie Robinson.
Broke the color barrier in 47. But the one thing about Roberto, to get into him real quick, is he died after the 1972 season. Right around Christmas Eve, he was delivering. Nicaragua had a huge earthquake. They overpacked an airplane. He jumped on it, trying to fly from Puerto Rico to Nicaragua, was killed. They never found him or anybody from the plane. He had just gotten his 3,000th hit that year, and so they waived the 5-year Hall of Fame thing, and they put him right in the Hall of Fame. But the fact of what he means to the country of Puerto Rico.
I saw 21 jerseys in Florida last weekend.
Any Puerto Rican player to this day, it's like George Washington to us. I mean, it's that famous of a person, or that huge of a lasting memory it has in your history. So that's one of the reasons why you can't retire every number.
Right.
I know people want Larry Doby's number retired because Larry Doby was the first African American to play in the American League a month after Jackie Robinson. I'm for that as well. I mean, Larry was amazing to me in my life as well. Another great ambassador in Major League Baseball. So there's like a few numbers that just have so much more meaning, and it's beyond just the color barrier. It's about being good people, ambassadors, good Americans, people who became U.S. citizens. That was a huge thing to Roberto Clemente. I remember when Sammy Sosa became a U.S. citizen. The first game he came out running with an American flag.
Number 21.
I mean, people don't realize how amazing that is to become a U.S. citizen if you're from another country.
So 42, we have the day for Jackie Robinson. The thought is just the number 24. Now, the Mets have already retired number 24 for Willie Mays. And he
only spent like 2 years there.
And I'm with you, too, because I think the Yankees right now are getting ridiculous. Their number.
Well, I told you that last night.
We've been on this for a while, though. Like the whole – and you explained.
So 2 days ago, Number 91's on the mound. Number
Yeah.
88's in the field. Number 83's in the field. I'm like, dude, you got like a football team now.
Maybe they could
playing
put, like,
for the Yankees because they don't have any low numbers. They're all retired.
And that was because 1 through 9 was their roster in the heyday. That was your lineup.
Going way back to like Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth and all those guys.
Oh, it's an even game.
Oh, they
Has
scored.
tied it
There
up.
you go. I like that,
Wow. Federico has dropped the literal soccer ball.
Yes,
and
he
Kurt
has.
picked it up and threw it into the net.
Nice.
1-1 tie, Spain versus France. Wow, Kurt's faster than the updates Federico has on his phone. We are keeping you up to date on all things sports, all things smoothies, all things bowls here at Nautical Bowls. Come on down, win some tickets. The whole staff is here to hook it up. We've got Yankees tickets, Yargos tickets, Hartford Athletic tickets, which, by the way, big game on Saturday or Friday against the Charleston Battery. I will be there. And also, we got some Six Flags tickets to give away as well. So plenty to do here at Nautical Bowls.
All right, when we come back, we'll talk to Mike. He is the owner of Nautical Bowls here at Bishop's Corner in West Hartford.
I don't think he knows yet, but we'll tell him. He'll
Mike
be
might
all
not.
right, yeah.
Gina, could you go tell Mike he's on with us next? So it's the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell live from Nautical Bowls in West Hartford.